Yes.
Hi everyone, this is Didi.
And I am Fred. And this is our 36-foot floating home Sunshine.
Join us as we go sailing.
Hello everybody. It's Sunday, April the 16th, 2023. And this, my friends, is a typical, sadly, sign of the times. The boat you're looking at is a West Sail 42. Based on its condition, with the rust stain streaking down the side and a dried out mold on the side of the hull, and the fact that the cap rail on both sides has been chewed up a bit, and the fact that the teak over the companionway and the teak covers on the top of the cockpit combings have all been painted some kind of mahogany brown, red lead, brownish red color to protect the wood, I presume. I don't think the sails are on the boat. I think they may be inside the boat. At best guess, this boat has been here for something on the order of 2 years. The test of time. From San Diego, California. Like a lot of boats, hundreds, perhaps thousands of boats that got stuck in various places due to the COVID nonsense. I haven't seen anybody on this boat. We've been here 3+ weeks. Presumably the owners have departed for some other place and had to leave the boat here. Most of the deterioration on the outside is cosmetic. It can be cleaned up. The teak on the cap rail can be fixed. No telling what condition the rest of the boat is in. Always bad to leave boats like this sit for a prolonged period of time, especially since it's in the water. Batteries probably gone. Interior systems, electric motors and various pumps and things like that like to get clogged up and freeze and not operate properly anymore. This is the small inner harbor in Galle in Sri Lanka. And you can see it's not a huge space. It's big enough to get a number of boats in here. There's Sunshine sitting there. I had the dinghy in the water because I was cleaning the bottom of the boat in preparation for our departure. And you can see in the video how much Sunshine, the boat after it, which is Arcadia, that's Stein's boat, and the West Sail over there, they're all bouncing around in here. Even though the water looks quite calm, there's a constant surge in here that causes the boats to bop around. It's not really uncomfortable or anything, but Sunshine was farther forward than it is now because there was a big catamaran in there before. And I was up against these, you can see over there in the distance, over there along the seawall, for these steel commercial boats, the government type boats, those big tires make good fenders, I guess, but for fiberglass sailboats, they leave horrible and hideous black marks all over the top sides. And once that catamaran left, I moved Sunshine back to an area where there are no tires. Well, I got 4 fenders over the side to help hold the boat off the concrete wall. There's a couple of bollards and a bunch of those staples in the top of the dock and then in the face of it to hold the tires on. So that's where I have most of the dock lines attached to those staples. So there's just enough tide range here going up and down that the dock lines would chafe over the concrete apron there. Off in the distance over there is another little marina harbor area that's full of local fishing boats. And of course, they're going in and out of the entrance out there. You may be able to see in the distance to the right and to the left is the entrance to the inner harbor. Well, those fishing boats are all the time going in and out, and of course, once they get going a little bit there, hammer the throttles and create a wake in there, which of course washes in here and adds to the surge. Outside of the inner harbor, of course, is the outer harbor. That's where we sat for about 2 hours waiting for a clearance by radio from immigration to bring the boat inside here to the inner harbor. My experience so far, Sri Lanka, it's not a bad place. It's not terrific. Ngale is a fairly small town. They have grocery stores in the downtown area with all kinds of shops. But I really recommend, if you can, and you're coming this way, to stock up in Malaysia. Food, fuels, things like that are much less expensive there than here. But of course, that's even from Langkawi to here is probably something on the order of 1,800 miles. We're preparing to leave on Wednesday to head to the Seychelles. It's a 1,600-mile trip, about equal to the same distance from Phuket to here. So somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks to get there. It only took us, it was only 1,200 miles here, so it took us 12 days. Originally I had planned to go to the northern end of the Maldives, but had to cancel that because of problems with the boat. Worked quite a few days to resolve all the little and a couple of big issues on the boat. Sunshine's ready to go. Fuels tanks are filled, water tanks are filled. I got some extra jugs of water on the deck. Hopefully this time we won't run out of water on our trip. It shouldn't be a problem. Have to be a little conservative when usage of the water when we start getting up around 3 weeks passage time. This area is pretty secure. It is actually Sri Lankan Navy base, I believe. And so there's guards at the gate, and we have to check in and check out going through. Of course, they've gotten to know us pretty well now, and pretty much just wave us through. Occasionally there'll be a new guy, and we got to show him our pass. It's a paper pass that we got from immigration that says we're allowed to leave this area and go into town. Anyway, later today, Stein has invited us to come over for a farewell dinner on his boat. And Dee Dee's going to make some food, and he's going to make some food, and we'll sit around and shoot some bulls for a while, I suspect. And then tomorrow we'll do a big provisioning run. Fortunately, there's a good grocery store just down the road. It's rather small, but they have a very wide assortment of items. And it seems to be geared towards foreign vessels a bit. So the other grocery stores that we've gone to didn't have some of the items that are readily available in quantity at this other store. Like I said, it's a couple hundred meters south along the main highway and across, no, I think it's on this side. Anyway, it's in the Google listing for grocery stores, someplace I really recommend. We were also fortunate in that I found a good tuk-tuk driver, a guy named Bennett. I'll put his phone number in the comments. Found him to be very reliable, very courteous, very fair. Seems to know where most places are to go get things. And I mean, a great guy. He lives very close by. Invited us over to his house the other day for lunch. Met his wife and his 2 sons. So that was a good contact to make. Having a good tuk-tuk driver is really important. Unfortunately, Dee Dee had a very bad experience with a guy who she thought was a good guy because he spoke some Tagalog, but it turns out he was a very bad guy. So this will probably be near the last video that I post before we depart on Wednesday morning. Bye for now.